$10 million. That is what Ford was ordered to pay this country for selling a gearbox it knew was defective, and kept selling for years anyway. But here is what nobody tells you. That gearbox is only number 3 on a list of 7 cars that Australian mechanics quietly refuse to work on. And the car at number 1 requires the entire engine to be removed from the vehicle just to change a $200 part. All prices in Australian dollars. Number 7. The Volkswagen Golf, specifically anything with the turbo petrol TSI engine and the DSG gearbox. And let me be fair up front, because this channel doesn't prescribe. The Golf is a brilliant car to drive. It is precise, it is refined, and it is exactly the kind of car you fall in love with on the test drive. That is part of the problem, because the Golf is brilliant right up until the day it isn't, and when it isn't, the repair bill lands in one specific, recurring place. The intake valves. Direct injection means fuel is sprayed straight into the cylinder, so it never washes over the back of the valves the way it did in the old port-injected engines. Over time, carbon builds up on those valves, and here's the detail that tells you everything. The only proper fix is a walnut shell blast. The mechanic pulls the intake manifold apart and literally blasts the valves clean with crushed walnut shells. It is a labour-intensive job that runs around $1,000 or more, and on many of these engines, it comes back. Not once. Repeatedly, over the life of the car. Then there is the water pump and the thermostat housing, which crack and leak so regularly that independent Volkswagen specialists keep them on the shelf ready to go. And the DSG's mechatronics unit, the computer brain sitting inside the gearbox, which can fail without warning and cost $3,000 to $4,000 to replace. So what actually happened here? Why does the Golf make this list at all? Not because it is the worst car, because the jobs repeat. You fix the carbon. Number 6, the Holden Cruze with the 1.4-litre turbo. On paper, it was the sensible, small car. Cheap to buy, cheap to run. A Holden badge for people who wanted something Australian. In reality, it is the car that made a generation of owners swear off the brand altogether. The Cruze's 1.4 turbo has a cooling system that leaks, not once, continuously. The plastic water outlet cracks. The thermostat housing fails. The radiator hoses split. Owners on forums will tell you the exact same story, over and over. They replaced one leaking part, and a week later, a completely different part let go. The car bleeds coolant the way a badly sealed tin bleeds air, and then there is the PCV valve, a small cheap plastic part buried inside the intake manifold. When it fails, and it does, it can pressurize the crankcase, and in the worst cases, push oil to places oil should never go. Catch it early, and it is a cheap afternoon's work. Ignore it, and you're looking at a blown engine. So why does the Cruze only sit at 6? And not higher? Because the parts are cheap, the car is simple, and most of the jobs are genuinely doable. But doable and worth doing are two very different things when the repair never seems to end. Mechanics don't fear the Cruze. They are just tired of it. They know that a customer who brings in a leaking Cruze will be back in 3 weeks with a new leak, asking why the last repair didn't stick. Number 5, Nissan's continuously variable transmission. The CVT found in the X-Trail, the Pulsar, the Qashqai, and yet worst of all, the bigger Murano and Pathfinder. Here is the part that should make you pause. When a Nissan CVT fails, most workshops will not rebuild it. They replace it. And a replacement fitted routinely lands between $6,000 and $10,000, depending on the car, on a vehicle that might be worth $12,000. Why is that? It is mechanical. A CVT doesn't use gears the way a conventional automatic does. It uses 2 pulleys and a steel belt, constantly varying the ratio to keep the engine in its sweet spot. When it works, it is smooth and efficient. When it fails in a way that scatters metal debris through the entire unit. There is no replace the one broken part fix. The whole thing is contaminated. That is why mechanics quote a full replacement, not a repair. And that is why the quote makes owners go quiet. $6,000 to $10,000 for a gearbox on a family SUV is not a mechanical decision. It is a financial one. And it is exactly the kind of decision this channel exists to help you make before you are standing in a workshop with the car already up on the hoist and your kids in the waiting room. Number 4, the Jeep Grand Cherokee. Before you say it, yes, this is where the list stops being about one single known fault and starts being about a car that can fail in more ways than a workshop can keep up with. The Grand Cherokee's problem is not one thing. It is everything. The transmission, the electrical system, the air suspension, the oil leaks, the infotainment that freezes. Owners describe a car that spent more time on a hoist than it did in the driveway. Mechanics describe the same car with far less patience. And here is what makes a mechanic genuinely hesitate. The faults are intermittent. An electrical gremlin that disappears the moment it arrives at the workshop. A transmission that shifts perfectly on the test drive and throws a fault code the second you leave the car park. You cannot fix a problem you cannot reproduce. And the Grand Cherokee is a master of the disappearing fault. Balanced, because the full picture matters. There are Grand Cherokees that have done 200,000 kilometres without a serious issue. They absolutely exist. The problem is, you cannot tell which one you are buying, and neither can the mechanic, which is precisely why they quote cautiously, or on the older ones, decline the work entirely. Before we get to number 3, quick favour. If this is helping you, tap like and subscribe. Number 3, the Ford PowerShift. The gearbox at the centre of that $10 million fine you heard at the very start. Here is what actually happened, because the details matter. Ford fitted a dry, dual-clutch transmission, known as the DPS6, to the Focus, the Fiesta, and the EcoSport. And that transmission was defective in a way Ford could not fix, because the defect was in the fundamental design. A dry clutch, unlike a wet clutch, has no oil bath to cool it. In Australian stop-start traffic, it overheated, it jutted, it slipped. Ford reflashed the software, replaced clutches, extended warranties, and the cars kept failing. The Australian Competition and Consumer Commission took Ford to court, and in 2018 the company was ordered to pay a $10 million penalty for unconscionable conduct. A class action followed, and it went all the way to the High Court. That is the legacy. But here is why mechanics now refuse the job. You cannot permanently fix a gearbox that is flawed by design. A workshop can replace the clutch pack for $2,000 to $3,000 and watch it fail again in 30,000 kilometres. And when it fails, the customer doesn't blame Ford. They blame the mechanic who did the last repair. So workshops now decline, not because they cannot do the work, because they know it will not stay fixed, and the blame will land on them. Number 2, the Holden Captiva. As Australia quietly renamed it, the Craptiva. The specific problem is the diesel. The timing chain, the part that keeps the engine's valves and pistons moving in time with each other, stretches and fails. And when a timing chain fails on a diesel, it is catastrophic. Valves meet pistons. The engine is done. But that is only half of it. The Captiva diesel's turbo and EGR system clog and fail at high kilometres. The early cars were so bad that the second-hand market priced them accordingly. You could buy a Captiva for almost nothing, and the repair bill would be 3 or 4 times what you paid for the car itself. Balanced again, because you deserve the full picture. The very last Captivas, the 2016 to 2018 cars, were built on a platform that was ancient by the time Holden wound up, and they were genuinely more sorted than the early ones. But the reputation stuck, and reputations stick for a reason. Mechanics have been bitten so many times by the early and mid-era Captiva that many simply will not quote the diesel work anymore. The labour exceeds the value of the car, and that, more than anything, is what makes it number 2. And number 1, the car Australian mechanics will genuinely refuse to touch. The Mini Cooper S with the Prince N14 engine. Here is what makes it untouchable. The timing chain on the N14 is at the back of the engine, against the firewall, and the engine bay is so tight that to change a timing chain, a part that costs a couple of $100s, the mechanic has to drop the entire engine and gearbox out of the car. Think about that for a second. A $200 part. A repair that requires removing the engine. That is not a job. That is a project. The labour alone runs into the thousands on a car that, at this point in its life, is often worth less than the repair itself. And the N14 needs it. The chain tensioners fail. The chains stretch. Owners ignore the cold start rattle. That brief rattle on a cold morning is the first warning. And when the chain finally lets go, the engine is destroyed. The N14 also drinks oil, burns through water pumps, and being a turbo direct injection engine, suffers the same carbon buildup as the Golf, but on a car that is harder to work on in every single way. So what happens? Owners call around for quotes. Workshops hear Mini Cooper S timing chain. And the answer is either a number so high it is a polite no, or a flat refusal. The mechanics who quietly know what the N14 really is. So here is the honest summary. 7 cars, ranked from the ones mechanics will fix but resent, to the one they will not touch at all. The Golf that never stops leaking. The Cruze that bleeds coolant forever. The Nissan CVT that costs $10,000 to replace. The Grand Cherokee that hides its faults. The Ford PowerShift that was flawed by design. The Captiva whose diesel self-destructs. And the Mini that needs its engine pulled for a $200 part. None of this is to tell you what to buy. It is to tell you what you are really buying. Because the cheapest car on the lot is rarely the cheapest car to own. A $1,000 Captiva with a $5,000 timing chain bill is not a bargain. It is a $5,000 Captiva wearing a disguise. If you got something out of this, hit subscribe. Every week on Aussie Car Expert, we dig into the cars that look like a good idea and cost like a bad one. Drop a comment below. Which of these 7 do you think mechanics hate the most? And did I miss a car that belongs on this list? I want to hear it.